and Irish America to still stay engaged with us in Northern Ireland, to build a normal society, to help us build prosperity and to help us work towards unifying the people throughout the north of Ireland and throughout this island.
You're a nationalist party, and the main rival you have within nationalism is, of course, Gerry Adams's party, Sinn Féin. In 30 seconds, give me the fundamental difference between your party and his party.
Three fundamental differences. We're smarter on the economy. They don't believe in it. We want to build a normal society. They are opposed to a shared future, and we have credible plans for building unity. It's about bringing people together on this island, moving people together.
Does this Westminster election, though, really matter? Because Stormont's pretty much embedded now. It's the only show in town, and it does seem to have been so far a pretty lacklustre campaign.
Westminster does matter, even though we have a devolved administration in Stormont. Why does it matter? Because the Northern Ireland Block Grant, the money for the Northern Ireland, is determined at Westminster, and that's why you have to be there to maximise the amount of money as we face cuts for the delivery of services to our people.
Speaking of cuts, that'll be a matter for the next Prime Minister. Have you finally any preference who gets into number 10?
Naturally, the SDLP takes the Labour whip, or receives the Labour whip. We want to see a party with an overall majority and that has the ability to deliver for the people.
Red for Labour in every sense. Margaret Ritchie, thank you very much indeed. This is the latest manifesto launch in Northern Ireland. There'll be plenty more later this week.
Mark Simpson there for the SDLP launch. Right, let's have a look at the weather prospects with all these flights taking off now. Matt's here.
Hello there. After that chilly start today, temperatures are on the rise now. Not especially a warm day, but across the country it's a sunny and dry one, and out the breeze and in that sunshine it will feel pleasant enough. Certainly lots of sunshine to go around across the country, more sunshine than yesterday in fact. A bit of patchy cloud here and there, Northern Ireland, Scotland producing one or two showers close to the Kent coast. But as we take a look around at 4 o'clock this afternoon, much more sunshine than yesterday across northern England. Temperatures here could be a degree or so higher. We've still got that northwesterly wind, so in the shade it does feel a little on the cool side. That can be said as well further south, where temperatures are perhaps a degree or so lower than yesterday. But with more sunshine than yesterday, get yourself out the breeze, it will feel very pleasant. Now the shadow you can see here on the map across Cornwall and Devon is mainly from high cloud, turning that sunshine a little bit hazy, weakening at times, but still a fine day nonetheless, as is the case across Wales, coolest on the north coast where we're exposed to that northerly wind. For Northern Ireland, the breeze will be light, but a bit more cloud here, particularly across northern eastern parts of the country. 1 or 2 showers possible. Most, however, will be dry. A few more showers continue across the north and east of Scotland, and those with a slight wintry element over the higher ground. Much of Scotland, though, dry with the sunshine. Now through this coming night, again, night is still long enough and the air mass that's with us still cool enough for temperatures to drop away quite sharply overnight. Yes, there'll be some mist and fog patches, but the main story will be, once more, the frost that will develop. Just about anywhere can see a frost on the ground by the morning. The air frost generally limited to Scotland, Northern England, Northern Ireland and perhaps some rural parts of Wales and the North Midlands. We will see some cloud and rain gather into northern Scotland later in the night. That'll be there for Thursday morning, bringing slightly greyer conditions. A few spots of rain, some sleet and snow on the higher ground. A few of those showers pushing southwards and a bit more cloud across southern Scotland. But really, across much of the country, we do it all over again. Chilly start, fine afternoon, winds that little bit lighter, so it's going to feel a touch warmer, 12 to 15 degrees. Into Friday, we see a weakening warm front push northwards through the night in Northern Ireland for Friday day in Scotland with a bit of snow on its forward edge. But just look what happens. We start to drag in southerly winds and the temperatures now starting to get that little bit higher, 15 to 17 across England and Wales. And we'll push them up a little bit higher still. In fact, by the end of the weekend, across some parts of England and Wales, we could see temperatures as high as 22 Celsius, with most parts, again, staying dry. Take care.
skies are open. Flights resume again at all UK airports, but passengers still face very long delays. After almost a week, the first flights are allowed back into Heathrow.
Hey, back in England!
And the lucky few finally make it home, but airlines face a huge logistical operation to get at least 150,000 more back to the UK.
Cheers! Cheers! We're going home.
In Madrid, some of those stranded celebrate as they finally get their boarding cards home. But in Florida, it's a different story, as many more are told it'll be weeks before they can get back.
We're not going home till the 4th of May, which is 2 weeks, so that means that we've been here a month in total. So, expensive holiday.
After the ash cloud chaos come the questions: was the air ban necessary, and why was it lifted so suddenly? A surprise rise in the number of people out of work as the total reaches 2.5 million.
I'm at Westminster with the latest on the election. The Conservatives are warning that the IMF may have to be called in if the result on the 6th of May is a hung parliament.
I'll have all the sport in the next hour as the scale of Portsmouth's debts are revealed in full. The club owes around £120 million, including unpaid wages for players.
Good afternoon and welcome to the BBC News at 1. After 6 days of virtually empty skies, all of Britain's airports are finally open again. The ban was lifted late last night, allowing flights to resume. But passengers are facing very long delays. Tens of thousands of people are still stranded abroad, and airlines say they're facing a huge logistical operation to get them home. It's emerged that the flight ban has cost the airlines around £1 billion. In the last hour, the Transport Secretary, Lord Adonis, has admitted that international regulators whose advice led to thousands of flights being cancelled were too cautious. Our correspondent, John Mulhern, reports.
Coming home at last. Today at Heathrow Airport, the first of hundreds of flights began returning to the UK.
Hey, back in England!
It was a similar picture around the country, as passengers delayed for days were simply overjoyed to be back. It was at 10 p.m. last night that all UK airspace was finally reopened. This flight from Vancouver was the first to arrive at Heathrow. Passengers were only told minutes before that they would be landing in London.
About half an hour before we landed, we thought we were going to Shannon. We did